possessed soul. In a quaint little village nestled between the mountains and the sea, there lived a reclusive man named Edward. His house, an old Victorian mansion, stood at the edge of the village, surrounded by a dense forest. The villagers often whisper about the strange noises they heard coming from the mansion at night. Low growls, eerie whispers, and the sound of something heavy dragging across the floor. But Edward paid no heed to their gossip. He had always been a solitary man, more comfortable in the company of his books and his own thoughts than with the villagers. One stormy night, as the wind howled and rain lashed against the windows, Edward sat in his study, reading an ancient book he had recently discovered in the attic. The book was bound in black leather, with strange symbols etched into the cover. It was written in a language Edward didn't recognize, but he was determined to decipher it. As he pored over the pages, he felt a strange sensation, as if something was watching him. He glanced around the room, but there was nothing there. Shaking off the feeling, he continued to read. Hours passed, and Edward became more and more engrossed in the book. The symbols seemed to dance before his eyes, and he felt a strange energy coursing through his body. Suddenly, the book slammed shut, and Edward looked up to see a figure standing in the doorway. It was a woman, but her eyes were black as night, and her face was twisted into a grotesque smile. "You should not have read that book," she hissed. Edward's heart pounded in his chest, but he forced himself to remain calm. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. "I am Lilith," the woman replied, her voice like the rustling of dry leaves. "And you have awakened me." Before Edward could react, Lilith lunged at him. He felt her cold hands wrap around his throat, and a searing pain shot through his body. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. As he struggled, he felt something enter his mind, a dark and malevolent presence that seemed to be taking control of his thoughts. When Edward came to, he was lying on the floor of his study, his body aching and his mind in turmoil. He tried to stand, but his legs buckled beneath him. As he looked around the room, he saw that the book was gone. In its place was a small, ornate box. Edward reached for it, his fingers trembling. He opened the box to find a small, silver amulet inside. It was cold to the touch,